this world of productivity, we think that actions equal success. What we fail to realize is that being bored is just as useful. We need to be bored to live a successful life. We often try to escape this feeling by scrolling on our phone because we don't want to sit with our thoughts, with our minds, with our feelings. We are so used to constant distraction or entertainment. Our phones not only have become an extension of our physical body because God forbid that we go anywhere without our phones, but it also became an extension of our mind. We are exposed to so much information. We are exposed to news, we're exposed to other people's opinions, we're exposed to ads, we're exposed to so much information that we barely have time to sit with our own thoughts. A famous quote that I love by Blaise Pascal states, "All of humanity's problems stem from a man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." I believe this couldn't be any closer to the truth, especially in the world that we are living in today. Boredom leads to growth, to evolving as human beings. It's a time to process our emotions, our thoughts, to analyze who we are at our core. When we use being bored in an effective way, we become self-aware. We do some introspection and we begin to understand ourselves at a deeper level. And once we understand ourselves at a deeper level, we understand what type of life do we actually want to live. Because often our thoughts are, what am I gonna do next? What am I gonna cook for dinner? What am I gonna do when I get home? We don't often take the time to sit with our thoughts and be, where do I wanna be in 5 years? Who do I want to be? Who do I wanna become? What kind of life do I want to live in the future? What are the values I have? Once we start sitting with ourselves, sitting with our thoughts, why did I behave that way? Why did I say that? Why did that trigger me so much when that person said that? When we don't take the time to think about these things, how can we grow as human beings? How can we learn? It's super important to listen to other people's advice, their experience, and what they've went through life. I think that's invaluable information. But you're on your own journey, so no one else's journey is gonna be exactly like yours. So there's gonna be some things that you need to figure out on your own. And you do that, you learn from it, you become better by being self-aware and doing some introspection. I don't know about you, but I remember being a kid and just wondering, whether that be in the classroom, looking at the clock, looking outside, or sitting in the car and watching the rain go down the window, I would just think, I would daydream. I don't remember what I was thinking. It was probably not very good ideas, but at least I was thinking. I was thinking about something. I was analyzing situations. I was expanding my mind. As adults, how often do we sit with ourselves? How often do we daydream? The answer is probably not very often, because our mind is constantly preoccupied by other responsibilities. I get it, our responsibilities are important, but even when we do have the time, we seek out constant stimulation or distraction. So how can we grow? How can we discover ourselves if we can't even stand being by ourselves, to be with ourselves? If you found any value in this video, I would really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification to get videos just like this one. Thank you. Let's continue. It gives us a chance to know how to navigate difficult situations, to learn from our past mistakes. It allows us to connect with our thoughts and with our feelings, analyze ourselves. We think, what can I do better next time? And that's the whole point of becoming self-aware. A few years ago, I was unemployed. I didn't go to university. I didn't have much responsibility. And I grew so much on a personal level. And I think a big part of that is because my mind was free. It didn't belong to a job. It didn't belong to a university. It didn't belong to anybody else but me. Now, I'm not saying that you should quit your job. Obviously not. But let's be mindful with the time that we do have on our hands. It doesn't matter how much time you have. Everybody has a different life. Everybody has different responsibility. But it's about being mindful with the time that we do have. Allow yourself to sit with the uncomfortable. It allows you to understand yourself better, to understand who you are, what are your core values, who are you right here, Who are you truly? Being bored breaks the habit of instant gratification. When we're bored, it's a habit for us to grab our phones because it's easy. There's not a lot of friction. It takes our mind away from the thoughts that we don't want to have, or just with this uncomfortable feeling of being bored. There's a few things that I personally found really helps me in terms of not reaching for my phone constantly when I'm feeling bored. One thing I really like is to set a time limit for apps that you don't want to spend a lot of time on, whether that be TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube. You can do this directly from the settings. Now, I don't know if you have an Android phone, how that works, but I'm sure it's pretty similar. You basically go in the settings and decide how much time do you want to spend each day on every single app. So whether that be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour, whatever, that's up to you. You can decide, and when that time is up, your phone will automatically tell you you have reached your time limit for that app. Now, you do have the possibility to be like, oh, ignore time limit, but at least it creates a barrier. It gives you some time to think, okay, do I actually want to be on my phone, or am I just being bored and it's been an hour I've been scrolling on my phone and that's not really what I want to do with my time. One other thing is to put your phone in another room. I know it's hard for us not to scroll in the morning or at night, but putting it in another room creates, again, that friction from us not wanting to scroll on our phones. And the last thing that really helps me as well is downloading this app called OneSec. So it gives you, again, that friction, that time to think, okay, let me sit with myself. Is that really what I want to do with my time? Or am I just being careless and not self-aware of myself? Once you implement these habits, or once you wean off of that dopamine hit that you receive while scrolling on social media, you'll see that you'll slowly want to have challenges again. You'll slowly want to do something better. Not necessarily that you need to save the world or solve all of humanity's problems, but maybe you want to read a book, maybe you want to try something new, maybe you want to paint, maybe you want to work out more. Whatever you want to do, you can do because you're not addicted to that instant gratification anymore. By doing this, you're rewiring your brain to love challenges, to love the slowness of living. I think society primes us to love go, 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 go all the time. But learning a new skill, trying something new takes time. Maybe we're gonna fail. Maybe we're not gonna be so good at it when we first start. But that's okay because we're humans. It's about stillness sometimes. It's about rest. It's about being with ourselves. It's about thinking. It's about enjoying the process and understanding that it is a journey. Being bored doesn't mean that you need to sit with yourself in a dark room and just meditate for hours and hours on end. I mean, you can do that if you want, but maybe that's not what you want to do, and that's fine. It's not just about thinking. It can be, doing some introspection, planning for your future, being more self-aware of who you are, but it's also a time to experience new things that maybe you wouldn't have chosen to do if you weren't being bored or if you were just in production mode. It's to have different experience, is to try new things in your life that you wouldn't do on a day-to-day basis. Boredom is a tool to get out of a rut, to evolve, to become who you truly want to be. I hope in this video that you saw that boredom is not being lazy, unproductive, or lacking willpower. It's understanding that when we are mindful of the state of boredom, we can actually evolve, and it's actually beneficial for us. Because thinking about your longer term goals is very productive. And we can't do that when we're constantly thinking about our next move, what we're gonna be cooking, what we're gonna be working out at the gym. We can't do that. We can't do that when we're not able to sit with our thoughts, when we're constantly scrolling on social media, when we're addicted to instant gratification. It's okay to take a step back, be with ourselves, and appreciate our presence, to give more importance to our own thoughts rather than other people's opinions or views of the world. Don't let hustle culture tell you that you should have no time to be bored, that, oh, you're never going to be successful if you're not if you're not doing all the time. I think that's a lie. And I think that while it is good to be a go-getter, it's good to put in the work. Being bored can bring you a lot of things that the go, go, go mode cannot bring you. So I think it's definitely a balance of both. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification to have videos just like this one. See you later.